Alright, so today on the wonderful, lovely gaming Rocks. Now we're going to take a look at, in our previous little episode, we took a look at the theme editor. There was a couple things that didn't mention, basically that you could adjust just this with the sun settings. You could adjust the altitude, you could adjust the longitude, and it would basically change a few things. If you guys want to take a look at a better understanding of the theme editor, I will definitely put a link down in the description to where you can go into it a lot better. I'll put it in the previous episode as well if you guys didn't notice that already. That the previous episode will take you to the Paradox version of what they said about the theme editor and a few things. Mind you that you could change temperature, you could change a few different things, but let's take a look at now at the map editor. Now, the map editor, you could load a new map, or you could create a new map. Now, we're going to use the user theme. So this is Japan, created by Light Bagel, but as you guys can see, we have Alien Planet. Now I will show you some things. I will show it to you. If you guys want to see, you guys can take a look at different. I'm gonna put it this way. You guys will be able to take a look at this custom theme as well. There's also going to be the shocks, a couple of those themes. They don't have anything at the moment. They are there and ready to go. We also got the shocks winter. I think they did shocks summer, shocks spring, fall. We're going to take a look at the previous created theme. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be like, okay, why is there so many different themes? Or why am I taking you through the editors? Well, it's to get you to understand how to use the editors better in themselves. You're about to create a map based on an unpublished theme. If this map is shared with the Steam Workshop, it'll be default theme instead. So now remember, if I end up sharing this, which I will make sure that you have the candy theme. The candy theme is somewhat looks like candy. So if you go down and it's like a candy texture. It's a boreal state. It's going to be a flat surface when you get in. It's also, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. I'll try to answer them as best as I can. The only reason why my camera's not shown throughout this series is because I'd like you guys to get to see what it actually is like in the editors. A lot of times you guys will find that when I'm playing a single player game, or I'm playing something that's like Need for Speed or some RPG, I want you guys to see my reaction, see what I'm doing. Okay? I don't want it to be like it's there, like I'm not there, but whatever. We're also going to take a look at how as this thing loads, we're also going to show you that if you've played City Skylines and you notice the terrain features, basically, that's basically what you're going to be doing and creating. But there's some more aspects to creating a map than just showcasing the terrain. We're not going to showcase the terrains, we're going to showcase how to actually create a decent map. I'm not going to say we're not going to create a wonderful map, okay? It's not going to be the best map that you've seen by creators, by certain creators like, I don't know, just other creators out there in the Steam Workshop, like in Japan, or the Boreala, I don't know, it's hard to explain, see some of those assets, like you go out and you look at different objects. Some objects are easily understood by most that it's custom assets don't mess with your game. Mods technically do mess with it more often, but I wish that there was a couple mods that I wish were in the base game. Because we're waiting for this thing to load, where it is the Traffic President. Okay, I wish Traffic President was in the base game. Also, I wish that the Roundabout Builder was also in the game as well. Or maybe the Networks Road Extensions mod. Network Road Extensions 2 was in there too. Because I think that that they were having a lot of different variety of roads. Roads is great because, you know, those roads are just that the road should have, like, oh, you have a 4-lane international road. I see that all the time in some places where you have that, and it's, you know, and I just wish that we'd have that capability to utilize that with sound barriers, to utilize a asymmetrical roads, to have more that. Now some of the mods, some of the one-way roads, like a 3-way one-way road, okay, I see that all the time in cities too, you know. But the only one that I'm not really fond of is having more highway, like the Network Road Extensions 2, is like, yeah, 5-lane roads, okay, great. I wish they would put in something more along the lines of like SOS vehicles, like an SOS carpool lane where only SOS vehicles can go by. But that would take control by the Traffic President anyway. Maybe having more possibilities of making our metro going above ground. You know, there's a mod author that does that, but, you know, but I don't mess with a lot of mods because I frankly don't have a very good PC to be able to focus on doing a lot of modding. So I only stick to maybe using Traffic President. I don't use the Roundabout Builder, but I should probably get that one. I also use the Network Road Extensions, the Automatic Bulldozer. I think there's a couple. I use the Unlimited Soils mod. And I use one other mod, but I'm not for sure what mod that is. But I know I use those, at least. I use a a few assets. I don't use 100% of the assets out there. If I'm making something particularly for a town, I'll usually stick to utilizing a lot of that, or you stick to using a lot of different mods. Like I tend to use a lot of a typical type of assets. Like I stick to a certain style. I may stick to the default style, and then I also might do a style from not UK, but maybe like different buildings from like another country, like Greenland or Japan, China, Korea, North America. I stick to a few kind of unique assets. There's a few assets where I do go in and I do use a few, but frankly, just me having too many assets is probably not a good idea for me, because, you know, technically they're telling us that we can't recommended that you have a graphics card of some sort, and I'm not even using a graphics card to play this game. So it works fine for the way I want it to do. I don't use a lot of heavy assets in the game. I use a few sprinkled parks here and there, maybe a couple of unique buildings. I do use a custom, as we're waiting for this thing to load here, give me one more second to note. I use a lot of, few different. I also do use a mod. It's kind of like a mod that allows. It's an incineration plant that's like sits right there in town, and it doesn't bother people as much. But I do use a few of those. I use a few different type of schools. Like some schools might have different things. Okay, so as you guys can see, the map generally. Okay, if you look at it, okay, there's your starting tile there. Okay. Now we can say, okay, let's go look at our not environment, but we're gonna if we take a look and we go over to our settings tab. Settings tab. As you can see, we can set up our 20 it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 our 25 tile mod. I also do use that as well. Well, that's the other mod that I use. But other than that, that's pretty much all that I do. But in order to create a map, we want to be able to say, okay, this is a starting tile. Well, let's say that we use a different kind of starting tile, and let's go pick this tile over here. Now you guys can kind of see that it's a little bit of like a bluish color to the theme. That was kind of the way I wanted it to be in general. Now this is going to be a theme. This is going to be a map based on Candyland, kind of like Candyland, or something more of candy themed. And I probably won't be showing you guys too much of the different things. But as you notice that if we go up here, okay, requirements have a water stream in the starting area, have at least one income highway connection, and must have at least one outgoing highway connection. Okay, you recommended to have at least one track, ship, plane, oil, forest, fertile, and or areas on the map. It's recommended that you have all those. I'm going to try as my best to give at least the track connection and the fertile areas here as well. So, now in the typical game, you will end up getting the shift tool, the level tool, the soften, and the slope tool. Okay, now that's great to know that we have some of the nice themes. Now, I'm probably not going to show you guys too much of the details in the game. Now, in the game to start with. But I want to say, I want to make where we have, okay, so let's set up our brush size. We're going to bring this up to a high brush size. Okay. Now, I actually didn't want to go up. I want to go downward. I want to bring in, like, a large river. Large river coming into the in. Now, I do want to make it so it does come largely in, but then I'm going to adjust it so that as it comes in, it forks off, and it forks off into two pally. Oops, nope, it forks off like this. So, but it's going to be generally, the reason why I'm forking it off into going this way is because we got to make sure that we get into one of our starting tiles. And I'm calling this twin as part of our starting tile. So what I'm doing is I'm shifting our road, where I'm going to kind of do one here kind of near the starting tile. And what I'm doing is we're going to have that there. Now, I'm also going to do one that's going to take you through kind of your starting tile. Okay? And that one's going to, it's kind of like creating like a huge, kind of, now, we're going to kind of fork it this way in a little bit. We're going to bring it back together, okay? I'm going to bring the size back up to roughly about the same. It's not going to be exact. Whoops. It's not going to be exactly the same kind of focus into the water as it goes. Now I'm going to fork it going, kind of making it look like that it's going down one way. Okay? As you can see, it's not natural. You want to make sure that it looks natural to you. So don't think that your river is not naturally looking. It's alright if it's not. Okay? It's alright if it's looking natural. Like, see, like there's like that little fork there. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have it, I'm going to flatten that basically a little bit forward. I'm going to actually bring the brush size back a little bit. I'm going to bring it back a little bit. I want to bring it here, but I want to add a little bit of that there, and then put it back off a little bit back here. Just a little bit. Okay? So it looks kind of like that there's like something in. Now, here's our red water coming through. So this is kind of looks like a alien kind of planet, and that's kind of alright. Now what I want to do is I want to make a final road, but I'm going to bring it here. Okay, so that when you buy the land, I want it. Hold on. Actually, let's refill that back in. I'm gonna take that back up to a higher form. Now, I want to bring this down, but I want to make it so that when it comes, that the water's going into a one-way direction. Now, I'm doing this just to show you guys the different tools that you have. So as you can see, I'm using the level tool. This is just making sure that it's all level at a certain area. Now, we could also create like a slope tool. And I'm going to kind of create a few little slopes around here and make it look more sound natural slopes. Okay? Just kind of add a little bit out there. I do want to make like a little bit of like a mountainous kind of a range out here. Okay? A little large mountain fortuitous. Okay? Now, I do want to actually soften this. I want to bring the tool down a little bit. I don't want it to be super large, but I want to bring that down a little bit to flatten it here. Okay? Now, what we can do is we're going to use this soften tool. We're going to allow the soften of it just to be up in here. We're going to allow it to feel like that it's a natural plateau in the city. Okay? Let's bring the brush size in a little bit further. Okay? It doesn't need to be super high, but I'm just making it look like it's a little bit of flat, soft tool there. Now, as you can see, that I also want to make sure that we select a little bit higher road here. Whoops. You can also undo your things. Let's undo that. I want to bring in like a small little bit, just a little bit there. Okay? And then I want to slope it a little, add a little bit of some Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this soften tool and I'm going to add a little bit of softening to it here, just to kind of give it that, like, hey, it's part of the, it looks like it's part of the, part of that there. So now we can, now as you guys can see that there is this water tool. Now you guys can't very well see it. It's like, that's what it looks like. I probably should have picked something a little bit better, as you can see. But now we're going to take the capacitor and we're just going to put in a small, we'll put a small little bit of a water in here so that it looks good. Now actually let's do it down here in this thing. Now I also don't want the water to flow out. So we're going to take this here, we're going to mark that height there, and then actually we're going to mark it a little bit higher. Okay, we're going to take it and we're going to clear this plateau here. Okay, I don't want it to overflow, but I also want to make sure that we smooth out a little bit so that it doesn't, so that it looks like it's a natural forming lake, pond, lake up here. That you can draw from if you have the 25 town line. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow a little bit of doing some smoothing around down here. I'm not doing a whole lot of smoothing. And let's bring that brush size a little bit larger. Okay. Select a brush. Let's bring a little bit. I'm making it so that it looks a little bit much more natural. I'm gonna flatten that up there a little bit. Just allow a little bit of flatness in some areas because it's like there. Now, but I also did say that we're going in the dark at night because I want to make sure that we have. Now I'm going to increase the strength to about 25. About 25. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to put that there. Okay. We have our little lake. Little lake forming. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm just shifting it back a little ways so that it does have a little bit there. I'm also going to add in as a secondary water flow over here as well. Just to roughly add a little bit so that it does have two filling connections. Now, that's just to make sure that the water, I want the water to be able to flow this way and to flowing outwards. So, that's kind of like our mountainous, gratuitous mountain range. And we have our little river, because we do want to have a stream. We have a steady stream there. It's a good idea. Now, we could import a height map. We could export the height map under anything. We're going to now, I want to go in and we're going to take the slope tool and I want to try something. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to kind of add a little bit more to the mountainous range, but I want to kind of extend it out here. There, but not doing that way. I want this brush. That was a different kind of brush I was using. So we can bring Now we're going to increase the brush size to about 8. We're kind of allowing for a little bit of a variety of the map looking like that it's a mountainous range. Okay, it doesn't have to be, doesn't need to feel natural in the way things. Now what we're going to do is now we're going to take our brush and we're just going to go a little, whoops, nope. I wanted to take the soften tool and add a little bit of softening to the areas over here. Doesn't need to be a huge amount of softening, but just so that it looks not so jagged. Okay. Let's bring the brush size a little bit further. Let's do it the full length here, and see what if I can do a little bit of that there. Not much more I do want to do. Okay, now we're gonna add a little bit more over here. Just a little bit. I do kind of want to make it look natural. So I'm going to smooth that out too now. Just a little bit of smoothing. Okay? Because it's a lot, you know. Okay? Now we've got our map set up. Now as you can kind of see, we have a little thing that's going to flow out of here and go out in these directions. So now once you have all of that set up, now we showed you how the water is, okay? Now I do want to say we could go in and we're going to use our softening tool, okay? We could go down in and we're going to soften up the river here a little bit, just to allow but just to kind of make some of the areas look a lot better. And I'm just doing a little bit of softening. I'm not utilizing a whole lot of soften. It takes a lot of time just to create the aesthetics. All I'm doing is I'm just softening up a little bit around. Okay? Just to allow the river to look a lot much more. Now, but since we are doing that, okay, I didn't do it over here very much. Now, actually, I'm going to hit Control Z out on that. We're going to take, and we're just going to do it a little bit over there, okay? So, all much I'm doing now, as you can see, it's going to flow over a little bit. But once it adjusts, it will make it. But we're going to say that, okay, so we're going to say water level is at 40. We're going to drop that down just slightly from 40. We're going to take that to 39. And we're going to put a 5 towards it. Okay? Now it's going to be reset to a little bit off. It's not fully up, because that way then we don't have this water over the junction. Now we could probably make one of these river connections, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to take the height down here. Okay, we're going to add a little bit more of that connection down here, because I would like to get a little bit more of the Okay, I'd like to get more of that, being able to get like a boat in here, if we can. I'm not for sure that we will. Okay, now we could say, okay, let's do some trees. Now I don't have much in the way of a lot of trees because I don't use a lot of any modding. But we are going to take, and we're going to use the red Japanese maple. If you guys don't have the orange Japanese maple either, you might not be able to run this very well. So if you don't have these, it might not work very well. But it's part of the brush size, so we're going to utilize a lot of different. We're going to utilize that here, and then we're going to mix it with a lot of. Actually, I do want to clear out. Let's re-clear. Hold on. I used a little too much of a larger of a brush size. And I didn't want to use a large brush size. Okay. Making sure I got it all out. We're going to take this, we're going to drop it down to roughly about 800 for the brush. Okay. We're going to kind of just lightly, gently brush that color there. We're going to add in a little bit of the other color here as well. Okay. Just to kind of give it like it's a dense forested area. Okay. Now I'm also going to throw in the bamboo tree group as well, just to kind of throw in a little bit of a variety of trees. Now if we go in and we go full blown, okay, we come down in here, you will find that there's a lot of mixed of colors. And I like that. Okay, that's got a mix. And then it kind of trickle out a little bit, kind of make it like a little bit of a forested area. Okay, kind of make like where it's gotten over to some of the more noticeable things. But see, that's there is nice, having a variety. Now I'm going to utilize a little bit of the trees up in here, up on top of the mountain. We're going to kind of use a little bit of a variety of trees. So don't be too worried. And I'm using a lot of the different kind of trees just because I can, you know, allowing a little bit of trees just to grow out in general area. And we're going to also bring in a little bit of these around. Not much. We're just throwing in a little bit. A little bit is just a natural help. Okay. I want to add in the other color as well. Okay, now we're utilizing a little too much. Now I want to make sure that we have, if we go out and we say, okay, out here, I don't mind having a little bit of trees, but way out here, you're not going to see much. Okay, so I'm not going out too far out in the distance because traditionally, it's not like you're going to see everything. And now remember, you do have a limit of how many trees you can place. So just be aware of that. There is a mod out there that allows you to disable that, but I don't use it very much because it would probably take my computer out. I don't know. I was doing a live stream not a while ago where I was playing Final Fantasy 12. And I was playing the International Zodiac Job System on the PS2 emulator, and it didn't work so well. So I'm really more cautious about how I record and do things. So let's do a little bit of a orange first in here. I'm doing a little bit up in here. I'm not doing like a whole patch full. I'm just making it look, and I'm going to clear out a small patch there. So it looks like that there is something going on and around. I do want to make sure that we do have a little bit of the bamboo, but like just sprinkled in there somewhere, somehow. Okay. We'll do the same thing everywhere. We're making sure that we use a lot of different variety of color. And then I'm going to add in the orange color just to, well, actually, no. Clear out a little bit of that there. I'm going to clear out that there as well. We're gonna replace that. Don't worry. What we're gonna do is we're gonna place a little bit. Okay, just like that. Now we're gonna speed things up a little bit because I want to make sure that's all full. Oh, and we got that there. So now as you can see, we got a little forested area. I want to actually drag a little bit of our forest just to kind of add a little bit to down here as well. Let's bring in a little bit of our bamboo trees. Okay. And then we'll bring in some of our purples as well. A little bit of purple in there. Okay, so it adds a little bit of in there, and it just makes it look a lot nicer. Now I noticed that we are having a little bit of where the water kind of sometimes it will jump out away from the water area, and it does it over here in some areas too. So I'm gonna we'll drop down the we'll drop it down by 30. Okay. No, let's drop that down to 45. But it's still there. It's not bad. Okay, so now let's go in. Now we got the ground resources. Okay. This is where our resources are going to come into an actual play. So if we go in and we say, okay, this is going to be our ore. This is going to be our oil. Now we could say that over here, I'm not going to put anything in our first tile anyway, because I know that probably most of you guys are probably not going to get to notice that unless you have unlimited mod. Well, unlimited unlock all on. So I'm going to put a little bit of the ore out here. Okay, that's going to be your pink. I'm also going to do a little bit over here in this area as well. Okay, so you have a couple areas with the ore industry. We're going to use the oil. I'm going to consist of the oil being on here. So our oil is generally going to be over here. Okay. Our ore sits there. Now our fertile land. I'm going to actually put in a lot of that over here. Okay. Now you can barely tell that the fertile land's there, but if you use because you can see, I'm just placing a painting a lot of the fertile over here, not to be confused. I'll also throw in a little bit of a patch down in here, and over if you happen to get over here, and I'll place a little bit of fertile land in this area here. Okay, so if we go over here and we say, okay, let's take a look at our natural resources. There's our formal oil. There's our 2 ore spots, and then there's our ore. Now, to make sure that we are actually getting our full ore there, I want to make sure that we have it all naturally set up. Our ore over here as well. Whoops. Wrong thing. Fully clear. Let's make that a little bit better. Okay. I'll go right there. I'm also going to add, I have one over there. There. I'm going to add a little bit over in this forested area here. Okay. It's just going to be generally, it's just to help keep the land painted if you're keeping it that way. So we'll do a little bit there as well. Okay. Now I'm going to kind of cut out a little bit of that on the edges there, but not much. Okay, so now we've got our have a water stream. Okay, we have our forest, fertile, and ore areas on the map. We are going to put a plane path in here eventually. Have at least one train track connection. We don't have any of these yet. We need at least one incoming and one outgoing highway connection. Okay. Now, if you have the network extensions mod, which is a godsend, because I love this mod, you won't be, if you don't have the network road extensions too, you won't be able to run this map well. I will make sure that that the mods that you need, I will make sure that you know that you have those if in the workshop. Also I'll let you know that you also need this map theme in order to play the game, in order to play it like the way it's intended to be played. And a few of the Japanese and different kind of trees. So we're going to start with that. This is where our road enters here. Okay. Now, typically a lot of people, when creating, you utilize these kinds of roads. You use a lot of the, I should say, you use a lot of the basic main highway roads, and you'd use only having it going one way that way and one way this way and coming in. So you have it like you're going in right, and you have one going right way, one way going the other way. You know, it's like this. I'll show you. Just a lot of people. Okay. So as you can see, we have that one there, and then we could go right next to it and say we could do that. Okay. Now, yes, I chose that color because I wanted to make it stand out. Now, if you are colorblind, this is probably not a map for you. Oh yeah, and I should probably have my headphones on, because you guys can probably hear that feedback. I'm gonna turn it down way down. Sorry about that. I didn't notice that until just now. So. Okay, so I'm going to clear this out because I'm not going to use that as our road connection. Okay. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to use the 4-lane one-way road from out here. So we're going to start with that, and we're going to say, okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to use we're going to kind of, no, I think I've gone too far up. We're going to kind of make it follow kind of like a generalized, we're going to bring this, we're going to keep that forward, and then we will rotate into the city. Okay. Then we'll bring our road straight forward. Now, okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to generally I'm going to rotate and go. I'm going to go around as much as I can. I'm going to go around and we'll create like a bridge here. Okay. And then we'll go forward from here. So now we have our one incoming and outgoing road connection, but I just want to actually have our roads going out in that general direction. So it's got a little bit of that windiness road to it, but it's kind of just the way I want it to. Now, I also am going to say that we have these different interchanges. I could use certainly the Tybo stack interchange. You know, we could also use the 4-leaf clover intersection, or we could also go with the that kind of intersection, but that's just going to be over the top. Let's see how I want to check this one here. Okay. What I do want to do is I want to make sure that we have an extra road intersection down here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to just come down, and we're going to try and see if we can line it up with this road out here. Okay. We're going to adjust it so that okay. So it's not going to fit quite well right there. So we're going to go back by one there as well. And then we'll try to replace it. Okay. Now, we've got it there, but we also, if you look at this one, can go that way. But I'm actually I'm going to have it, generally it's going to have a two-way road going in a certain direction. So now let's go back over here. We're going to utilize this, and we're going to say, okay, it's coming into a two-lane road. Okay. Let's do a swap there. Oh, that's going in to there. That's going in, coming down over to here. Okay. Okay, so then what is that one? So let's go underground then. I don't think I can go underground either. Because I can't tell. Because that's like a one-way in. And then I'm wondering if there's something gone cuckoo here, that it should be going this way, because it's coming from over here and it's going into a two-lane road. Oh, fudge. Only if I could see underground. Because that's not like, maybe what we do is instead of having that being connected, I think that could be like, because there's like two roads there. I'm just looking at it like, there's probably something where it's it's one of these roads here that go down to in here, and I don't want to have to. You can fix that. That's no problem. But it's like it's going in here and then it's coming. Ah, see, there it is. As you can see, okay, we'll fix that. So we're generally going to fix that. So we're going to bring this road to there, and then we'll see if we can bring it to there. But let's do that a little bit better. So we're going to come to there, and then we'll see if we can get there. Okay. And now we're going to readjust, there. So now it's coming down into a 2-lane highway, a 4-lane highway, which is good because that just means that we're allowed to have more connections. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this 2-lane road here, and actually no, this 4-lane road. We're going to say, okay, let's go from here. Okay, we're going to pull it out a few distances. Now, we're going to go down to there, and then we're also going to go down to there as well. Okay. So now we have, it's looking somewhat nice and decent. Now we're creating a second connection, but it's going to go in a little bit of a little bit windy, because I don't want it to be like it's going through. It's going to be there, okay? It's just allowing for the road to come into as a it just comes down that way. And then hold on. I'm trying to see if we could get this to line up with that. Now, we might end up, let's just go back by one and see if we can get the road to magically line up pretty decent. Okay. That works just fine there. If you have the Move It mod, you can fix that. It's just this intersection here. I like that being there. And now we have our extra additional road maps here. I think what we could possibly do is we could say, let's just page that down there. Let's do the same thing here. Here. And we'll just rotate it, and then it allows for you to have, see, we have those two connections already, and I'm trying to work on another one, but this is just another intersection that you can use so basically just making sure that you have those connections, and if you have those connections, you're doing good. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is we're not going to connect it there. The reason why I'm having those go down, I actually think what we might do is have a connection. Actually, we'll have the connection go. I think we'll just have the connection go across like a bridge. It'll just be a completely straight as much as I can, get it to go straight. Alright. So now we've got that set up. Now we got... hold on. I messed up here. Okay. No, hold on. I need to find... There, okay, so now let's make... Fixing... Oh, we're fixing 101 right here. No, I made a mistake in trying to do it. And it's like, you know, if you guys are looking to fix someone's city or looking for someone on how to fix your city, I will probably end up doing that in the near future. But right now, I don't have the best equipment out there to do that with. But I'm working on it. Okay. I was trying to see if we could get this to go in that kind of way. So now we've got our intersection here. I want to make sure that our intersection is set up correctly because, there we go. And put that around. So now we've got our interchange here. Our only interchange right now in the city. In this city. I was going to think maybe we could probably get away with doing another one down here as an extra one. Now I'm going to utilize the I'm going to use like the Tobos in stack here. So what I'm going to try to do is we're going to clear out we've got 2 more pieces of road. And we need to rotate this to kind of generally fit there. Now this is just a second interchange here. And I'm going to have this one go out that way so that when cars do come in, there's actually a portion that I'm in. So now we want to make sure that it's going into a 3-lane down to a 2-lane. No 2-lane. I will be able to, I'm going to generally try to see if I can fix that. Okay. So we're going to take this 2-lane road here. We're going to go down to there. And then we're also going to go down to there. Now, I'm actually thinking we could probably upgrade I think what we'll do is we'll upgrade down to 3 lanes, and then we'll downgrade these down to 2 lanes. Okay? Can't upgrade to this road. It will generally, I think what we, instead, we go down to 3 lanes, we go back this down to 3 lanes, I guess. And then maybe we take this and we go and say, go with our 4 lanes. 4 lanes. No, let's go back down. Let's go back down to 3. We'll keep it 3, and then it'll just generally come back down to a 2-lane. In there, and I was trying to see if I could get it to fix, but I can't fix it there. So I'll stick down to a 2-lane, to 3-lane, and then nope. Hold on. Let's do this the other way. Let's clear that out. Let's take this one and put that in there first. and then we'll come in and we will. Let's just do a little bit of freeforming here. Just a little bit. And then we'll flip it around. Now, I was thinking we could go down to 2 lane. But it comes down here into a different road. And I could probably, and it's going to be underground anyway already, and I'm like, okay. Okay, so we'll just leave it the way it is for now. I think we'll just do it that way. It's inside the other road, so it's not too worried. I'm not too worried about it. What we'll definitely do is we will definitely say it will create a road there. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to go down to take this and we'll go all the way down to a 2-lane road here. Okay. Now we could probably upgrade that down to this to a 2-lane road there and this to a 4-lane, but we'll see how well the traffic will flow anyway in the game. With that to 2-lane, and then we'll go down to 3-lane here. Okay, just to help ease of traffic flow in the first place. It's actually going to tell me that the distance is too short. So we'll just create a smaller distance there, and then we'll go from here to there, and do the same thing to there. Okay? So it's bringing in, and then we're going to actually upgrade that to 3-lane road. Okay? So it acts as if you're coming in and but we'll flip that around. So it works. Works the way that lane management. We're going to take this across here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to go this around the forested area. Hold on. I'm going to go forward there and we'll take this around. And it'll generally going to mix it around the general forested area, but we're going to take a little bit through the forested, I guess. Well, just a little bit, so you get a little bit, like, it's just a 2-lane road anyway. And then we'll just go forward from here. Okay. So now we've got our 4 connections. We have 2 going this way, 1 going from over there. That's going there, and this one's coming in and it's going in that way, but it also can go in that way. So it's a weird intersection there. Now that's how you create your inner things. So now we could say that we're done. Okay. We got our requirements, but if you want, you could add a 1-train track connection. You have at least 1 open ship connection and at least 1 plane path. I'm going to definitely say, for sure, that we're going to try and see if we can get our see if we can get our connection to coming in. Okay. Oh, it works. It's just perfectly going down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something like this. No, hold on. Now I'm going to clear this portion out, and we'll say, we'll go from here, and we'll add in is like a generalized curve. Okay. 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 So it kind of utilizes that as a channel, and then we're gonna take this, we're gonna click from here, we're gonna go down. Now we're gonna take, and since we're curving, we're gonna actually do a smaller curve here. Okay. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of a curve on the end. Alright, so that's kind of our ship's connections. We have 2 of those. We don't have 3. Now we're gonna do the plane. We're gonna do a general plane path. We're gonna take their plane. We're gonna basically gonna have the connection here. Okay. We're gonna kind of have the plane kind of go around the general gratuitous mountainous area, and then we'll also have an extra connection from here to there. So and then we'll also do one going out that way. So that's kind of our general map creation for that. Now, we also don't have our train connections. So you want to have train connections if you want people to be able to utilize their trains from outside connections. Now, I want to do the connection where we're going to have it where it's going to be not utilized over here, so over here. It's going to kind of be going through like this mountainous terrain. So let's start over here. And we're going to go forward with it. Then we're going to kind of utilize this gratuitous mountain terrain. I think what we need to do is, since we're doing that, we need to make sure that we can get around the slope a little bit. So we're going to clear out from back behind here. And then we'll go we're doing something rather unique. So it's kind of going through like a mountainous area. Although I'm just creating like a winding I'm doing it like a winding path through the mountain area, but I'm not. Okay. And then we're gonna see if we can. That's probably gonna be like an invalid shape. Dang. Come on. Really? We'll go back a little. We'll go back like 3 and see if we can get it to come in a different shape. And it's only going to be one. No, hold on. Put a little bit, and then we'll take it across there, and we'll see if we can go page up on it. Okay, because we need it to basically get a we'll go page up, and we'll try to see if we can get the slope. This is where it's gonna start becoming a little bit. And then we'll take and we'll just. I'm just going to go straight forward from the rest of the way forward. Okay. Trying to keep it straight as much as I can, but it's kind of hard to do so. I might be talking a little bit too quietly, but that's alright. Okay, now we got some of these extra little different rocks. Different vehicle stuff. You could probably put that in there with your theme. I'm not going to. That's just going to add some more environment stuff. Now we got all of our connections available to us. We only have one train connection that winds throughout the mountains. This area. That's not bad at all. Okay. So now we want to be able to say, okay, that's your starting tile, right? We could say we could make that our starting tile or that our starting tile. I like this as our starting tile. We could also set that as our starting tile as well, which might do us which might be a lot better. And we have our thing, but it'd have to, when you suck it up, it'll be tough for us to even do that. We could even set that up as our main tile. We couldn't do that because if you look at it, we have very, if we say that we take that, there's barely, if we come down here, hold on. If we were to say, look, it goes right up to that point there, and it's very small little water going in. So we couldn't select this one to utilize that junction there, or to utilize this junction would probably be a little bit better. And I'd probably maybe extend it out our water out a little bit more. So I think what we'll do is we're gonna expand it out this way a little bit, okay? And then we're gonna need to find our thing here. So let's take this. We're gonna go back to nighttime. We're gonna clear that one out, and we're gonna say we're gonna put one here. Okay. Hold on. I want to put a water capacity of 10 here. Of 10. Okay. Okay. That's going to be basically the last of our water section. So if we do expand, we did expand it a little bit, but I'm going to try to see if we can level out our thing. We're going to take our brush size down a little bit. I think it's just a little too big here on the sides. So we're going to clear a little bit of that, and then we will smoothen it out back here a little bit. But we do need to re-clear a little bit of that out, because we don't want the water to be too... I meant to grab the smooth tool. A little bit of that smoothing around here at the end of the thing. It'll help a little bit just for the water. A little bit, so we can add in a little bit. Okay, so we're good. Okay. That's just so that if we decide that we start in this connection, that if we choose to say, hey, we can now say, let's start in that one instead of starting up in something over there. And we can have a little bit of this connection so that it got a lot more, it allows for more people to get in, and we have 2 exits if we so choose. So it's kind of like we're already creating our own little main road in the city. Okay? There is no fog in this game, so there's no fog in this theme, so don't worry about it. And also don't worry about the rain either. So we've got that there now. I need to double check on our resources here, because I want to clear. I want to go down here. We're going to clear out a little bit here. And we're going to clear this whole thing out here. If we're going to do that, we need to clear out the area with the ore here. Okay? I'm going to clear it out. Just because there's no need for it to be in this main area. And I don't want that to be there because, frankly, you don't get that right away. But we are going to put it down a little bit further. I'm going to utilize a little bit of a smaller brush size, just a little bit. We're going to take it and we're going to go up here. Okay? We're going to utilize this tile a little bit around here. So, and then I'm going to take a tiny, and we're just going to, actually I'm going to take and clear out a little, we're going to take out a little bit from there. We're going to expand it out over here a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay? That's pretty good. Now, I also do need to check on fertile land. Okay? We do have that fertile land over here. Here. We're going to clear that out of our way. And I'm going to move, we'll keep the fertile land where it's at. There's not going to be a whole lot, I don't think. Let me double check on our fertile land area. We do have a little bit over there where the trains run through. So I think that should be alright. Actually, let's go and let's find our natural resources. We're going to also throw in a little bit down in here as well. Well, that's the outside. That's in the outside connections. Hold on. I don't want it in the outside connections. Outside connections. We're going to actually add in a little bit of the fertile land here. Just add a little bit outside the forest area and then bring it in a little bit so that then it doesn't focus too heavily on it. So this is kind of how we create our oh, there's fertile land here. What did I use? Okay, we're gonna clear. We're gonna take the large brush size and we're just gonna go clear it out over here. Okay, because that's where we have. We're gonna expand our fertile land over here then. Okay. I'm just going to expand it out a little bit there. Not much. Okay. It's not much. But there we go. So we got a couple spots for fertile. We got a few spots for like ore. And you know what? Yeah. Just because it's really interesting how this map has come to be. So now if you guys did enjoy this episode, we are going, if you did enjoy this episode, hit the button, hit that subscribe button so that you guys can always stay up to date. Now if you hit that subscribe button, if you don't hit that bell notification, you aren't going to be able to stay up to date because you aren't getting the notifications. Now the last thing I want to show you before we do end this is that, as you can see, we chose this starting tile here. This is the main starting tile, which, you know, we could say that's the starting tile, but then we can't continue. So we need to have it here. But that's all right. So now let's take our screenshot, and we're going to utilize the screenshot from here. Okay? And I'm only taking one. We're going to use the night shot. I want to see how well the day looks. We're going to take a day shot. Okay? Now we'll take one more final picture. I know you guys are probably hearing that's too much, but me clicking on it, I can't hear it very well. So let's go into let's save map. Okay. Okay, and then we're gonna call this one. I'm gonna call this Ken. Okay, we're gonna call this one. Okay, we're gonna call this one Candy. I'm gonna call this Candy Valley. I don't know. Okay. Also, make sure that when you name things, that you set the things up to. Okay. And make sure that you check this publish map to new games map panel. Okay. Now publishing the map, it's just going to make sure that you have everything is set up for the being able to play. Because if you don't set that up, you're not going to allowing the game to say you're not getting there into the maps. You're not going to be able to play the map if you don't actually publish it there to your maps games panel. If remember, like I said, if you are enjoying Gaming Matty Rocks, enjoying this channel, hit that like button. If you did enjoy this video. If you want to stay up to date, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Remember to watch these two videos as well. So we'll see you guys later.